we go. Let's see. See how long it takes. There we go. Sup, ladies and gentlemen, Aquilon here, and welcome back to each one of you. And of course, if you're watching this over on YouTube, please remember to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and also come join us live. It is always better when it's live. Ladies and gentlemen, we're just waiting for everyone to sort of filter in, make themselves comfortable, and then we will then we'll start. Mr. Smokin', how you doing, brother? Yeah, it has been a long time. We've had load shedding. It's been fucking crazy, dude. It's been a nightmare, and it's not over. I have, roughly 2 hours to spend with you guys before I'm out again. It fucking sucks having to steal moments to live stream. It blows. I can't get comfortable, if that makes sense. Like I can't get to a point where I'm like, all right, I'm gonna stream and I'm gonna stream for 4 or 5 hours, and then I'm gonna do this and then I'm gonna do that. Right? I can't do any of that shit. I have to steal moments, SBJ, Canny Ass, how you doing? Welcome to both of you. Solid Snake, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Comrade, really appreciate that, bro. Thank God you're back at least a bit. Yeah, just a bit. Look, it frustrates me too. I promise you, I'm not having fun doing this. It's not even fun streaming when shit like this goes on, because like I was just saying, Kaki, how you doing, bro? Mikimoto, how you doing? It does. I have, over the course of the last few months, I've built this incredible routine where I wake up, I make some videos, I go live, I stream till just before I go to the gym, and sometimes I stream even after the gym. Then something like this happens, right? First and foremost, it wakes me up at night whenever the power goes out while I'm sleeping. It wakes me up because I sleep during the day in order to have my schedule sort of fit into what I do for a living. So after about 10 minutes of the power being out, the AC being off, this room turns into a fucking oven, right? Dzak, thank you for tuning up. Really appreciate that, bro. Thank you for redistributing that wealth, comrade. I will use your money wisely on hookers and cocaine, of course. A generator where I live now won't really work because you're not allowed to run a generator for longer than 2 hours. And also not past a certain point, But yeah, so now I get woken up. This morning, for example, I was woken up at just past 6, 10 past 6. Now, you have to understand, I went to bed at like 4:30. So I got woken up about an hour and a half into my sleep, right? Got woken up because it's hot as fuck. Lay awake, struggling to fall back asleep up until like I think 7:30 or something is when I finally fell back asleep. Then I got woken up by the power coming back on, right? Because suddenly the AC and the fan and everything fucking starts up again. It's like, oh, got woken up by that. I slept till about 10. Got up at 10, showered, got some coffee, shot a video, and then the power went out at 12, right? So the power went out at 12. It came back at 2:30. Actually, it came back at 2:45. Yeah, it literally came back about 10 minutes ago. And it's going out again in 2 hours from now. I mean, that is... How do you plan your life? How do I do anything? There's no planning to be done because as soon as you try to get into a routine, the power goes out and you're basically sitting there. All right, now I'm waiting. Lots of coffee. How do you make coffee when you have no power? I got my vaccine today. Am I chipped? I can hear Putin's voice inside my head instructing me to attack Americans. Good for you, bro. Good for you. Enoch, how you doing, bro? You can't plan shit around something like that? No, you can't. Arthist, how you doing? Thank you very much for the follow. Really appreciate that, comrade. Need to warn you, though, this is a degenerate chat on the best of days, so good luck. Apocalypse, how you doing, bro? Kit the Mage, how you doing? Chance, how you doing? Malachi, how you doing? If you looked into a solar system that isn't fitted to the house, I don't think we have those here, Malachi. The problem with most solar systems in South Africa, so I've already asked for quotations. I need about $5,000, right, to build a solar system that basically excludes the government power supply. Yeah, so I won't even use the government power or electricity. It's about $5,000, which is kind of pricey, you know, but not. I wouldn't say that breaks the bank, if you will. It's not like just so much that you can't fucking breathe or anything like that. But yeah, so about $5,000 will get a solar system. The problem is that most solar companies will not install a solar system on someone else's house. So if you're renting, they'll just go, no. No. Chance, thank you for doing something, dude. Really appreciate that. Comrade, with the redistribution of wealth. Ladies and gentlemen, making me rich. Fucking love you guys. Keep giving me your money. I have plans. Big plans. Big parties. My friends made a setup for 3,000. No, South Africa is expensive. You have to understand, everything that South Africa has is imported, right? It gets imported from other countries. My country is one of the few countries in the world that charge import tax on goods, even if those goods are not produced in South Africa. So, for example, there is literally zero computer parts, like no PC part in any PC in the world is produced in South Africa. Yeah? We have import tax on every single PC part that can be imported into South Africa to protect the fucking industry, the local industry. Which is like, what local industry where? Who are you protecting? No, you're just lining your own fucking pockets, you pieces of shit. But hey, as long as that makes you fucking feel good, right? Canny Ass, thank you for the gifted sub. Love you, bro. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Local industry, yeah, there's no fucking local industry, but they charge import tax nonetheless, you know? So it's good fun. It's good fun. Yeah, you guys have started the Skamar strain, but we can't get excited about the Skamar strain anymore. We don't have enough comrades to push the Lenin train. What should we call it? The Stalingrad. Yeah, we don't have enough comrades to push the Stalingrad to level 5. So we've done level 2 now. Level 2 is old school, right? That's just the beginning of the revolution. Level 5 is where the revolution fucking hypes up. And we don't push it to level 5, so it don't matter. If you don't own the house, most solar energy companies won't. The solar companies here, the reason they don't want to sort of install solar panels on a house that's rented is they're going to have to remove all of that again, right? And there's a lot of work that goes into it. You know, electricity supply cables that have to be rerouted, oftentimes breaking open the wall in order to move electrical cables around. They don't want to do that, right? And so every company that I phoned have been like, no, if the owner of the house does it, we're more than happy to do it, but yeah, no, we're not going to do that. Damn sure won't allow you to install those. Most, at least in South Africa. So South Africa's rental rules state that you cannot disallow reasonable requests. Yeah. So, for example, if a renter wants an AC, yeah, an air conditioner, you as the landlord can't tell them no, right? Because that is a reasonable request. Venapier, how you doing? Digit, how you doing, brother? Blue Fairy, comrade, thank you so much for the gift. It's up. Really appreciate that. So the law states that you can't disallow reasonable requests. And that is a reasonable request. It's more the companies that install it that's just like, nah, let's not. Because the bonus check came in. Well, I appreciate you redistributing that wealth, Blue Fairy. It is very much appreciated. I'm really skeptical about solar panels. My government, Australia, have a nationwide scheme where the government will install them in your business. So they fund very shady contractors to install them for you, only to find out they only provide like 5% of my overall power and basically useless during an outage. I mean, truth be told, I think I trust nothing of the government, Chance, right? I think you should move your distrust from solar panels onto the government, right? Solar panels are incredibly useful for individual households. They're not useful for basically powering an economy. I mean, the stats are in, yeah? Germany have, since 2014, basically shut down every single nuclear power plant that they have, moving to solar and wind. And as a result of this, coal power plants in Germany produce more power now than what they've ever had to produce before. Mainly because solar and wind, as it turns out, isn't efficient. It's expensive. And sure, you can put up solar farms quite quickly, but as it turns out, solar farms aren't that good. Whereas France is one of the most green countries in Europe because 95% of all their power is supplied by nuclear. So they don't care, you know? France is just fucking coaxing. Because they don't have to rely on something like a stupid fucking, what's it called? Like solar farms, yeah? Druid, coming in there with a prime sub. Motherfucker. Comrade, welcome. Welcome to the revolution. Happy to have you here, bro. A lot of countries reopening their nuclear plants and using fossil fuels to help the transition. Look, the future is nuclear. I think every reasonable human being agrees that the future cannot be coal. Yeah? Anyone who says that the future is coal is a fucking moron. No one wants to live next to a coal power plant, right? No one wants to live next to... Like, if I told you, hey, I've got a prime property for you right next to this coal power plant, you'd be like, nah, no. I prefer not to, you know? I like breathing. So, at the end of the day, it's sort of like... Everyone agrees that we need to move away from fossil fuels, right? We need to move away from things that harm the planet. But the cleanest energy we have literally does not pollute. Its pollution footprint is zero. Is nuclear. And also, just want to say, Meldorf, people keep saying this thing of high risk, high reward. What high risk? What high risk? The death toll for nuclear-related injuries is, I think, 190. Now, that's a lot of people dead. 190 people dead is not great. Jesse Bear, comrade, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Really appreciate that, bro. It's like 190 people that have died, according to every scientist that have looked at Fukushima and looked at Chernobyl. And Chernobyl was one of the worst nuclear failures we've ever had, right? And it was nothing. It wasn't really that bad. Malachi, comrade, holy shit. All right, you'll be my Minister of Finance whenever the revolution is over. Malachi, really appreciate the 10 gifted subs, brother. Can we get some love in chat? Malachi giving away 10 gifted subs. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Look, the nuclear power plants are extremely safe. If you look at the two biggest nuclear disasters we've had, which is Fukushima and Chernobyl, they were controlled fairly quickly, and in at least Chernobyl's case, the reasoning for this was human error. And more specifically, it was, well, 3 Mile Island was a nuclear disaster, but no one got hurt by that, right? So as far as, like, everything that had to happen in order to contain the disaster happened. Yeah, so 3 Mile Island, while, yes, it was something that happened, you were like, oh, shit, the safety mechanisms kicked in, and it actually did what it was supposed to do. Whereas Chernobyl, right, it was because corners were cut and things were built in a way that shouldn't have happened. Nuclear power plants are incredibly safe. They don't fail. And in the event of failure, there's so many places in which we fix, or we have the ability to stop that failure from spreading and causing serious fucking harm. Also, if you've ever watched like documentaries on Chernobyl, Chernobyl happened as a sort of a series of extremely unfortunate results. Like there was a bunch of things that happened that normally wouldn't happen, right? And it all just conspired in this perfect like series of events that led to Chernobyl. Fukushima, the same thing. Like things were brought under control rather quickly. There's this guy. He did a TED talk. You guys can look him up. Just type in nuclear TED talk, right? I think that should bring it up. I can't remember the guy's name. But this guy used to be anti-nuclear, like 100% anti-fucking nuclear. He used to protest nuclear power plants, yeah? Let me just quickly see if I can find it here. Nuclear TED talk. All right, the guy's name is Michael Schallenberger, yeah? 3 years ago, he made a video called Why I Changed My Mind About Nuclear Power. I'll share this video for anyone that is sort of skeptical. Schallenberger. There you go, right? Watch that. He shares data on this shit. Like, he shows how nuclear really isn't an issue. It really isn't. We have WoW lore experts. Easy Spirit, what WoW lore experts do you want? What's your question? It's just the more. It all makes sense now. Small modular reactors are the way of the future. I believe that nuclear is the future. I think people are wasting their time with solar farms and wind farms. They're unreliable at the best of times. Domza, thank you very much for the follow. Really appreciate that. They take up a lot of space, and solar farms destroy more of the environment than nuclear power plants do, because you need massive amounts of space in order to put up these solar farms, right? Shadowhunter is more priest-hunter combination or shaman-hunter? I have no idea how to answer that, because I don't know. A Shadowhunter would be... It wouldn't necessarily be a priest. Alzika, how you doing? Alpha, how you doing? It wouldn't necessarily be a priest. It would definitely be a hunter. It would almost... Like, I don't think it would be a shaman, right? Because Shadowhunter would specifically fall into almost a rogue-ish kind of hunter, right? Using the shadows, the power of the shadows. Now, we could argue that they use the power of the void, right? Which isn't really true, because they more would use the power of death. If anything, right? They would use the power of death, which is how Vol'jin did it. So I would argue Shaman and Priest are the two wrong classes to try and mix with it. Like, completely wrong. The sun is infinite free energy. The issue with nuclear is the mining cost. Wild Boy, not really. Considering we have a lot of those mines, we can get better at it. Here's the thing, right? As soon as you start investing massively in nuclear, there's also going to be massive investment in nuclear mining, right? Uranium mining, which is all you need. As soon as those investments pick up, it's going to get cheaper to actually mine uranium, and then it will just become cheaper to actually run nuclear power plants. And then you have people right now basically trying to figure out how to do phase 2 nuclear power generation. For those of you that don't know, when you have a modern day nuclear shaft, or whatever it's called in English, right? After it's generated the power that it could generate, it is actually still left with about 90% of its original energy
I have
capacity.
A question. What do you think is their reasoning behind releasing a storm out today? I do not think it is purely because of stupidity. I think these decisions are calculated, but why not releasing it the day 9.1.5 launches? Why today?
Zigzags, I'll get to that. Give me a moment. I'll get to that. Yeah, Ian is a fucking moron. Don't listen to Ian. What Apocalypse said. But so the nuclear what's it called again? Rod. The nuclear rod still actually holds about 90% of its potential power. The problem is our modern day science, the equipment that we have today, can't actually get to that power. So those rods are then basically discarded. They're literally, there's, I would say warehouses, but there's not actually that many warehouses filled with these nuclear waste materials. That still has a shit ton of fucking power, potential power, capacity, but we don't know how to tap that yet. So there's actual people working, trying to figure out how do we tap that 90%, right? How do we get those rods to work as well? And the plan for most nuclear scientists or researchers is to get to a point where at the time that we're done with a rod, a uranium rod, it is completely and utterly depleted of all of its energy, which would also then make it safe, right? Because you've literally removed, you've tapped 100% of its potential energy. So now discarding it is basically doesn't matter, right? On active and on standby because the spot price for uranium is too low and they can't make a profit. That is sad, right? All right, let's. I actually don't want to talk about Blizzard and their. I'm sort of over Blizzard at this point. Just to be clear, which is why I'm willing to talk about almost anything that doesn't include Blizzard Entertainment. But Blizzard doesn't seem to be done with me. They keep doing things. They keep bringing people into chat. They keep asking questions about fucking crap that Blizzard is pulling. So, Stormount. The creator of the Stormounts, may he sit on may he sit on a fucking 9-inch nail. I don't like that guy. I don't even know who he is, but I fucking hate him. From the bottom of my fucking heart. The person who dreamt up the store in World of Warcraft, may he... man, I'm really trying to choose my words carefully, because what I want to say will get me banned. But may bad things happen to him. If you've had, at any point in time, any lingering doubts as to whether or not this company that is called Blizzard Entertainment gives a fuck about you, they don't, and they have now proven it. With everything that is going on in the game, with the game being a complete and utter shit show, with no new content being released for the last year, and do not tell me that 9.1 is content, like fuck it is. With the game being in the state that it is in, this company had the fucking guile to release a store mount. A fucking store mount. After months. This is literally the equivalent of going to a homeless person, burning food in front of them, and then coming back the next fucking day and burning the food again. It's like you're shitting in people's faces and you do not give a fuck. What is more sad to me is the fucking shilling cunts, the creators and the fucking players who will defend this decision, who will go, I can't wait to buy this cat mount. I can't wait to fucking spend more money on this company. This company clearly doesn't give a shit about you. And you're like, no, take my money, please. You haven't released shit yet. And you've not given us any fucking content. 9.15 is basically just a collection of all the content that should have been in the fucking game in the first place. But no, fuck it. Here's a mount. Stick it up your fucking ass. Fuck you, Blizzard. Fuck you, Ian. They can go fuck themselves. I'm so fucking over this company, dude. And I'm over the people that keep defending this company. The people that keep going, oh, you don't have to buy the mount. Go fuck yourself. I don't have to buy the mount. That is literally the equivalent of me saying, I should have the right to poison your food. And you're going, no, you can't poison my food. And I go, you don't have to eat the food. I should have the right to poison it. Just, you don't have to eat it. What the fuck are you saying? Just because you don't have to do something doesn't make it a crappy fucking thing to do in the first place, right? What we're talking about here is principles. We're talking about the fact that Blizzard as a company has zero fucking principles. This is an evil fucking company. Bobby Kotick is a cunt. He's a moron. He shouldn't be there. Ian Hazzikostas doesn't have a fucking clue what he's doing. The dude is probably the biggest moron I've ever seen in my fucking life. That dude could not design a game if it was the best game in the fucking world and you gave him a blueprint to fucking do it. He wouldn't know. Steve Denuser couldn't write his way. I need to really calm down because I'm gonna say things that are. He couldn't write himself out of choose your words very wisely. Steve Denuser couldn't write himself out of a straight fucking path, bro. No twists, no turns. It's not even a fucking maze. It's a straight path, and the dude would not have a fucking clue what to write in order to get out of that path. The dude is a moron. He shouldn't be there because he was employed for one reason and one reason only: to push transmedia, to get as much fucking gaming going so that people can spend as much fucking money on that game and basically bleed their customers dry. That's all Blizzard does. They don't give a fuck about you. Stop defending them, because here's the fucking rub. They will not defend you. Blizzard Entertainment doesn't care about you. You are a fucking asshole if you keep defending them. Because all they'll do is, after a year and change of no content, what does this company do? They release a fucking store mount. You're a moron. But then again, I don't expect anything better. Because there are people who keep going to the voting stations to vote for presidents who keep fucking up. There are genuinely people in the world who voted for a guy who can't even get a fucking sentence out. So, I'm not surprised. Average voters will keep throwing their money at bullshit without realizing, perhaps the world is fucked because I keep falling for bullshit. Because I keep believing when politicians stand up and go, I fight for you. I keep believing, I'm like, they're fighting for me. Oh my God, yes. They're not fighting for you, they're fighting for them. They're getting rich. There are people that believe that when AOC and Bernie Sanders says, I want the world to be a better, but fuck off. They just want more mansions, more money. AOC pays $35,000 fucking dollars for a ticket at some rich fucking event, and then wears a dress saying tax the rich. Fucker, you are the rich, you piece of cunt. What are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking? No one else can afford $35 for a fucking ticket. You can, and then you wear a dress saying, fuck you, give your fucking money away. You fucking cunt. Give your money away. Bullshit. And then people believe when Blizzard says, hey, we're gonna do better. Fuck off, are they gonna do better? They're not gonna do better because you keep fucking giving them money. They bring out amount and you go, oh, I need to pay for this. Where's my credit card? Fuck this one. Oh. You're the reason this shit keeps happening. You're the reason this game is in such a fucking state. You're the reason the gaming industry is in the state that it is in. It's your fucking fault. And what's worse? What is fucking worse? You're too stupid to realize it. And I suffer because of your fucking stupidity. The rest of the world suffers because you're too fucking stupid to see that you're the problem. Whenever Blizzard brings out a new mount, you can't swipe fast enough, and then you go, why is this game bad? I don't know, because you're a fucking moron. Because when you should have said, fuck your mount, give me content, you went, if I swipe more, they'll make the game better. I'm sure of it. How long? How many times? Einstein said that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. When do you move from insane to fucking moronic? At which point do you cross the chasm? Because it feels like you've crossed it. It feels like the vast majority of people do not understand how the world is supposed to work. When someone keeps bleeding you dry, keeps pushing new mounts, and you better believe that when 915 launches, there will be another 6-month sub-mount. You better fucking believe it. This company is shameless in their fucking greed, and you are too stupid to see that it's your fault. God. Does that answer your question? Does that help make sense of how I feel about Blizzard and their shops and the mounts? I hope it helps, because I'm not explaining it again. The sad part is that everything I've just explained will go right over the head of the average voter, because these people breathe. If breathing wasn't involuntary, these people would die. They would not understand how to breathe to keep themselves alive. They would just stop breathing one day and fall the fuck over. I'm speaking to the converted. I'm speaking to the intelligent. Because I know for a fact that the moron will never understand this. The moron will keep defending it. The moron will keep saying, no, you don't understand. You don't understand. They have to pay their employees. Oh, fuck off, you cunt. Why do you insist on fucking my life up? I don't mind if you want to go live in a fucking hellhole, go for it. But why do you insist on fucking my life up? I never understand this. Why is it that morons can't just wallow in their own moronic, disgusting worlds? Why must they make it my problem? I don't understand. I don't understand. So I choose to remove myself from this situation. And that's it. Fuck it, I'm done. I'm done. Yeah, no. Right, I can't with this fucking company. I can't with this company, and I can't with the people who keep defending this company. It's insane to me. I genuinely don't. When you are so tone deaf to the point where when your game is at the height of shit town, you bring out a fucking shop mount. I can't even. I don't know what to say. Ascension, how you doing, bro? Blasphemous, how you doing? Blue Fairy, how you doing? Valestious, how you doing? Wow and stuff. What happened to Asmongold? Wait, did something happen to Asmongold? What happened to Asmongold? King Julian, that's because you were looking for reasons to defend your company. Like a good little boy. Ian would applaud you. Ian would applaud you for that. If you paid attention, Final Fantasy is miles better than World of Warcraft. Let's examine why. Oh, First and foremost, they keep bringing out content for their players. Their players actually have a full fucking game to play. That's good, you know. That's actually what a game is supposed to do. You know, the other thing is that their shop isn't actually in the game. Have you ever tried to buy something from the Final Fantasy fucking shop? You need a degree, in fact, masters probably, just to get to their fucking shop. The shop is outside of the game. When you want to buy something, you have to leave the game, go onto a website, and look for the thing that you want to buy. They do not make it easy for you to spend money, but they do have the option, if you so choose, to actually spend money in their shop, and the stuff that they give you, that's fine. It doesn't remove anything from the game. They give you a crap ton of things in the game to do. They don't neglect their game in order to push their fucking shop. It's not the same. It's not the same. It's nowhere near the fucking same. Oh, and the game isn't shit. That's another one. Yeah, it's another one. Literally makes you work hard to give money. True. I agree the game needs fixing, but I don't think store mounts actually matter at all here. Valicious, they do. Which you would understand if you were here from the beginning of the rant. This is a principle discussion. This is a discussion that shows priorities. When your game is burning, right? Your players are leaving. You haven't released new content in a year and a half. The new content that you finally give players is a fucking store mount. Priorities. Shows how much they care. It does matter. It matters a lot. If I live in the US but work graveyard shift, should I play on EU to do raids and stuff? I don't think so. You could probably. I would say test it out and see. But yeah, if when you're awake is when most people in Europe would be awake, then maybe playing on EU is a good idea. Machendo. Nine one had new content. What new content? No, you made a point there. 9.1 had new content. What new content? The Taint of Secrets. Okay. A dungeon. All right, cool. It had a raid, which I guess all in all, it had about a day's worth of content, if that. So, oh yeah, you're right. In about 1.5 years, well, not 1.5 years, a year and 2 months, they managed to produce 1 day's worth of content in 9.1. Yeah, I can see that as content. Counts. I mean, it's fucking shit content, but hey, who's counting? We were promised a city of secrets, we got a fucking taint. Many promises were made. None of them were kept. So you have to ask yourself if you feel like 9.1 was worth the wait. That would be my question to you. Do you feel like you waited 9 months, Valistris, and 9.1 released, and you thought, yeah, that was worth 9.1. That was worth 9 months. I got what I paid for. Because I'll tell you what, 9.1 felt more like the Emperor's New Clothes situation. It felt like the Emperor's New Clothes situation. We waited months for the clothes to come. The clothes came, and we were left going, where's the clothes? Valestris, you're padding the content there. Because of course I couldn't do it in a single day. I was time gated to fuck. But yes, I actually have people that have now done Korthia without the time gating, and all of the Korthia quests takes about 6 hours, 7 hours to complete. If you remove any and all time gating from it. Time gating is not content, bro. Time gating is not content. When I tell you to wait a week, that week doesn't suddenly turn into content. That week is dead content. World of Warcraft uses time gating to ensure that nothing happens and people feel like something's happening, you know? No, but you have content next week. 2 more quests. Ooh, ooh. The average player goes, oh my god, next week I'm getting 3 new quests. Ooh, I have to wait a week for 20 minutes. Ooh. All right. Fuck yeah. Can't wait for this. Content feels good. If I gave you a new game, if I sold you a new game for, okay, let's see, 9 months, we did the math the other day, but it comes out at about $120 that you paid. Waiting for 9.1. If you put all of the content that 9.1 had, and you compare it to $120, did you get your money's worth? Was 9.1 worth $120, considering that $120 can get you 2 AAA titles or 4 to 5 indie titles? Was 9.1 worth $120? It wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it. It did not. It's worth something, sure. But that's the point. If you were to compare 9.1 to other games, one would say that 9.1 is basically the equivalent of most indie games that you would buy on Steam, right? Those games that go for $10 to $15, yeah? So 9.1 is worth, in terms of money, about 15, 10, 15, maybe even $20 you can push it, yeah? In terms of what it's worth. So that means Blizzard owes you $100 worth of content that wasn't released. As soon as you start looking at the world through those lenses, a lot of things start making sense. It becomes quite clear that that's how you know when you're being done in. How can 9.1 be worth $40? Do you have any idea the kind of games that you can buy for $40? I can sell you right now Frostpunk and Oxygen Not Included for $40, right? Oxygen Not Included, it's the average time that it would take you to actually finish Oxygen Not Included. You're talking probably about 500 to 600 hours of playtime, right? That you would have to play in order to finish that game. If you can even truly finish it. Frostpunk, you're looking at anywhere from 200 to 250 hours just to finish. That's $40 for 2 games. 9.1 is in fucking no way, shape, or form worth that much. Blisters, no. No. The sub and the base price is the same thing. The price of the expansion took care of 9.0 and all of the content that released with 9.0, if you can even call that content, because that was time-gated as fuck as well. From that moment forward, you pay a sub. Your sub is being paid in order for developers to continuously produce new content. Otherwise, World of Warcraft would be a normal single-player game that doesn't have a sub, but also doesn't come with new content, only comes with expansions every year or 2. Yeah? Because that's how most single-player games run. Why is it that Witcher 3 doesn't have a sub? Witcher 3 has a ton of content. It has a world filled with content, but it does not have a sub. Why doesn't it have a sub? Because Witcher 3 does not continuously release new content. Witcher 3 releases new content only when it has a new expansion. So you buy a new expansion, you get new content. In an MMO, you pay a sub in order to ensure that new content becomes available in between expansions as well. In fact, there are now MMOs that is no longer pushing prices. For example, Ashes of Creation. Ashes of Creation is no longer going to ask you to buy the game. The $15 a month will be enough, according to them, to cover all of their costs. When you pay money, you're paying for content. You can say that you're paying for access, but that's bullshit. Because all you're doing is you're now arguing semantics. Oh, no, I'm paying for access. Access to what? Content. Okay? You're paying access for content. That content has to be made by someone. Someone has to get paid for the content that they're making. You're not paying for access. You're paying for the package. The access to the content and the content. That's as simple as it is. And if you're saying you're paying for access to the content, what content? Ferrotti, I haven't actually seen Age of Empires 4. I didn't even know that the game looked as shit. I haven't looked at anything. Yeah, I have no idea. Look, I used to be a fan of Age of Empires 2, and then I sort of lost my vigor when Age of Empires 2 became high definition, ultra high definition, fucking high definition, high definition, high definition, high definition, the ultra high definition, the ultimate high definition, the high definition of the high definition of the high definition. So at some point, I just sort of went, all right, no, fuck it. I'm not going to keep buying new games the whole fucking time, 10 Deeps, thank you for the on sub. Comrade, really appreciate that, bro. King Julian, you've never even fucking played the game and you decided it's shit? Okay. Let's go with that. You also called Witcher 3 shit. Game of the year. Still has about 40,000 players 5 years down the line with no new content being created. Sure. Let's call one of the greatest games that has ever been developed shit. Why won't we? Pint's new video. Who's Pint? I don't even know who the fuck that is. Oh, Shimonito. Yes. Witcher 3 is by far one of the greatest games you could ever fucking play. By far. Actually, perhaps the greatest game you could ever play.
You look like you've lost some weight. That's terrible. Have a dumpling.
Ace, thank you for the 5 bits, dude. Really appreciate that. Final Fantasy YouTubers ever? I have no idea who he is. Look, I don't watch a lot of WoW or Final Fantasy YouTubers, but let's Google him or let's search for him on YouTube. Let's watch the video. I haven't watched it. Pint. So his name's just Pint.
Now I know it's just...
Okay, which video am I looking at? What do you mean lost one? This one. I enslaved my Final Fantasy 14 guild. This one. Or this one. Sir National, thank you for the 1 sub. Really appreciate that, comrade. Thank you. I am enjoying Final Fantasy 14 when I actually have time to fucking play it. I do enjoy it, yes. when I have electricity, I should say, to play it. I do enjoy it. No, someone said, have I seen Pint's newest video? I'm assuming it's this one. Yeah? I enslaved my Final Fantasy 14 guild. I'm assuming it's this one.
Now I know...
Now, before I go, I need to find out something. Is Alex awake already? Because I desperately need a fucking thumbnail. Sorry, guys. I need the thumbnail for Shamanita. I have about 20 minutes to hang out still. Then my power goes out. So I wasn't going to play games. Actually, no. I have an hour and 20 minutes. Excuse me. I have about an hour and 20 minutes. So I wasn't going to play games for like 2 hours and then that, you know, what the fuck. I need a thumb quite quickly, so I'm trying to see. All right, I've messaged him now on all the fucking platforms that I know of. As they say, those rolling black ones never stop. No, of course it doesn't stop because my government is fucking morons. All right, let's see this video. Let's see this video. Blackouts, don't you pay for power? JC Bear, it doesn't matter whether you pay or not. Rolling blackouts means my country doesn't have enough electricity to supply electricity to the whole country at the same time, and so they have to do rolling blackouts with one half of the country being offline, so the other half of the country can have power, and then the other half gets switched off so that the previous half can get some power. That's load shedding. It's how my country does it. Well, this year it's happened quite a lot. Last year it happened a fuck ton, actually. Towards the end, actually. During massive lockdown, it actually didn't happen because no companies were open, right? Everyone was closed down, so no one was using any electricity. But, yeah. We don't know when it happens, just FYI. I have no idea when or how it's going to happen. You just get a text on your phone saying, hey, load shedding has just been introduced, and then you go, okay, cool. Like, they'll do things, like, for example, this one started 2 weeks ago. They announced it on the Wednesday, I think, or the Thursday. They announced that load shedding is starting, but that it will only be for, or it happened a week ago. Time. But basically, they said that it will only be till the next morning, right? So they just needed load shedding from like 9 in the evening to 5 the next morning. At 5 the next morning, it was announced that the next evening from 9 to 5, they need to do it more because something else happened. And then at 5, it was announced that at 12 that afternoon, load shedding will have to start, but only for a couple of days because they still needed to fix stuff. And then at the time that they got to the end of that third, just quickly, that's when they announced, oh, no, never mind, we have to keep going, but actually we have to up it now to stage 4, then we'll lower it to stage 3, and then at some point we'll lower it to stage 2, but, you know, we're fucked, basically. That's how it works in my country. It's good fun. It's great. Love it. It's happy. Very happy to be here. All right, so Pint, I enslaved my Final Fantasy 14 guild. Chat, you asked me to watch this, so let's see.
I know what you're thinking. Final Fantasy? Is that not the game with the Goofy in it? No. Final Fantasy is one of the best games I've ever played. I've been playing it for months now, and let me tell you, the only thing goofy about this game is the stunts I pull. I've been known to engage in some mild
The Great Comrade! Thank you for stealing something, really appreciate that.
foolery on occasion. And when I first heard of it, I thought I'd hate it. 'Cause in my fantasy game, children... In my fantasy game, catgirls? That one's alright. And until last year, I genuinely thought the aforementioned...
I have to say, though, the catgirls are kind of cute. I didn't think they would grow on me, but they do grow on you. They do grow on you. You do find yourself seeing catgirl and going, that's cute.
Goofy was a staple of the Final Fantasy franchise. Turns out he's actually from a different game, but the vibe and art style still never really seemed like my thing. But I've never been more wrong. I love this game, man. Since I have the #1 most important opinion on the internet, I figured I'd grab that pretty little head of yours and shove my new favorite game into those eyeballs. So, from the lovable developers to the shocking realization that you've been on copium for years, today I take you through my adventures in Final Fantasy XIV. And what got me so invested so quickly? Rabbit Girls. Our journey begins here, in Ul'dah, a city run by the two most evil groups in society. Tyrannical politicians who would do anything for coin, and short people. Your first impression of Lalafell might be the same as any—
I must say, truth has been spoken. Ul'dah is a shit show. Ul'dah was perhaps designed to show the world. That place is fucking miserable. You can trust no one. That place, if you are a little bit sort of schizo and you think that there's someone out to get you, do not go to Ul'dah. Do not go to Ul'dah. It will trigger everything for you. That place is the most untrustworthy place in the universe.
Any other small race. Cutesy, played by 40-year-old men, and an awkward bus ride if you're scrolling through Twitter in public. However, Lalafell, don't be misled, my viewers. They may have a thin veil of cuteness, but their evil knows no bounds.
True.
Yeah, stop petting me! I reveal to you the secret of all Lalafell players. The smaller you are, the bigger other races are. So, with my cute face, complete lack of ethics, and desire to get a 20-minute sponsored video out without playing I pulled up my boots and set out into the city to make something of myself. So I went to my mum for help. She said I should make some friends and get a fucking job. So in my bid for power, I began handing out cakes to the local guards, which were definitely not poisoned. Stop asking questions. Until it came to my attention that the princess had gone missing. How awfully convenient! Surely whoever would save her must be held in high regard. What a lucky opportunity for me to prove myself. I decided that I would help find the princess, so I opened my map and started running towards her exact location. And that is when I saw... Fear not, princess, because I am here. Alright, this is the Nanima voice.
I don't know how I ended up here, but thank you for saving me, Rabban.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, how'd you get here? Huh, ladies.
What the fuck?
Would you like this rock?
Think. Feel. Think.
Mommy!
Bro, what the fuck?
It was then that I was invited to a feast with the royals of Ul'dah, and I graciously accepted my growth in political power. Once again, you'll be happy to know that Technoblade is now safe in her own castle. I was hoping to network, but the best seat I could get was next to her dad, and all he wanted to talk about was the war 5 years ago, where countless lives were lost because of the Asian / the moon? Which is weird, because I killed one of these guys like 15 minutes ago. That's right, this ancient powerful being was no match for me, a regular ordinary adventurer. Damn bro, that's crazy. You gonna finish that? I'm gonna go to the bathroom. He is special. Mommy. And so Thancred brought me to his friends, the Scoins of the Seventh Dawn. Meet our heroes.
I have awaited your coming.
The one everyone hates, except for,
Yes, bro. Yes. Minfilia. Of course, Minfilia. I need to see this again.
So Thancred brought me to his friends, the Scoins of the Seventh Dawn. Meet our heroes.
I have awaited your coming.
The one everyone hates, except for, the ones everyone should hate.
Welcome!
The guy whose dialogue doth ye skip. The E-boy.
I never doubted that you'd come.
in this guy, but we'll get to him later. Together they form the Scones of the Seventh Dawn, and the primary goal of this organization is to kill the Primals, which are demigods summoned by various tribes around the world. Primals usually just mind control anyone that doesn't have your powers, because this lovely, curvy lady has given you the power to remember things. So it turns out all of those blackouts I had were actually a good thing, and not damaging my brain. And so you team up with the members of the Shallots of the Seventh Dawn, but mostly this guy, who is 16, internet. You make wonderful friends, use your power for good, and to tell you any more would spoil things, but trust me, the story in this game is very good, and I like it a lot. Now this can be a very social game, which means you're going to be meeting a lot of new people. And this game can have quite a twisty story, with many plot points that can be easily spoiled. Those seem like conflicting qualities. While I admit it can be a little stressful dodging spoilers on my Twitter timeline, this game does this combo the best that I think any game possibly could. And the community, generally, is super anti-spoiler. The only things I've had spoiled were kinda minor and were kind of accident.
I have to admit, that is super fucking true, dude. The community in Final Fantasy, they go so far, like they take anti-spoilers next level. Even raids, dude, like trials and shit. If you like team up with someone that's already done the fight and they know that you haven't done it, they won't say shit. Like they'll let you wipe a few times doing the wrong thing, and then they'll go, would you like some pointers? Like, could I help you? They won't even spoil learning the fucking tactics of a fight. It's surreal how this community treats spoilers, and also you would not be forgiven if you ever tried to data mine anything in this game. Like if you tried to data mine this game, believe me, you would be making a lot of enemies on the fucking internet, dude.
And annoying as spoilers are, I am a streamer. I know. So I probably have it worse. You've probably already played it, or it's probably only going to be about as bad as... Dude, wait for Heavensward. It gets so good at Heavensward. It gets so good. But yeah, spoilers, bad, hate them. Now, back to the story. I'll be taking my payment.
Thank you for slaying the primals, but there is more work to be done.
And you will do it.
And so I ventured forth, as the hero I am, ready to save the world. Wait, what? What is that melody? You're dancing. My god, they're dancing. What are those faces doing? They're smiling. The people were having fun. Oh, and the music. The music was super copyrighted. And as new as I was to the game, that was sort of the first moment where it clicked. I spent the rest of the night taking screenshots with the pals. Look at this guy, he's playing a male character in a video game. It's a feeling I hadn't felt in a while. Okay guys, it's time for Pint to pay his rent. The plan was simple. Get in, grab the greatest mobile game of all time, and get out. And to pull this off, Pint, why'd you do it? Hot. I'll be able to get my hands on a brand new legendary Halloween champion. My Uber's here. You know the game's free, right? You could've just downloaded it. You'll find your rewards here, bud. Add over. For the next week, I farmed the golden saucer for emotes. I think I like it here.
Yep.
Oh look, there's a racing game. Sweet, I got bunny ears. Now I can focus on getting a cool outfit.
Golden Saucer?
Save us! The primals are
place in
coming!
FF.
Did somebody say Palace of the Dead? Sounds pretty cool. Crafting jobs doesn't sound cool, but somehow is. I could have sworn there was something I was supposed to be doing right now.
So much truth in that, dude. It's actually something that I say in today's video, my first impressions on Final Fantasy. The distractions in Final Fantasy is surreal. Like, just getting to max level in Final Fantasy is in and of itself probably a massive trial. Because every few hours, you will be sort of inundated with something that could distract you from actually reaching the end. It's fucking insane. Like, you run along, you're doing your fucking quest, you're having the time of your life, and bam! They introduce the Palace of the Dead, and you're like, ooh, I wonder what this is. I should check it out. And hours and hours later, you're like, what am I doing with my life? I'm higher level in Palace of the Dead than what I am actually. Like, I have out-leveled myself in Palace of the Dead compared to where I am in the actual fucking game. And then you decide to drag yourself away from that. You're going back to the main storyline. Do the main storyline for a bit and bam! Golden Saucer. And you're like, ooh. Hours and hours later, you're like, oh my god, I am the king of gambling. I have won so many lottery tickets. I have cards coming out of my asshole. I'm racing like a motherfucker. All's good in the world. All's good in the world. Lekada, thank you so much for the gifted subs. Comrade, really appreciate that, bro. Thank you. Give me some love in chat for Lekada. The gifted subs is very much appreciated. Alex, thank God you're here. I need the thumbnail for Final Fantasy, bro. I need the thumbnail for Final Fantasy. It's up. All right. Thank you. I was getting stressed, dude. I thought you were fucking asleep. I thought you were asleep. I'm like, oh my god, if he's asleep, this is going to be a fucking nightmare. What do you guys think of this? I like it. Should we not move this down here with ... Would that not work better? If you took the 200 hours later and you moved it down here. What do you guys think? Would that be better? Okie dokie. I've not been playing WoW for a while. I've not been playing WoW for... How long have we not been playing WoW for now? I think it's like almost 3 months. No, 2 months? 2.5 months? Yeah, I've quit WoW a while ago. I haven't quit making content on the lore. When there ever is lore again to talk about, I'll be happy to talk about the lore. But there is no lore, so... Just try it out quickly, Alex. Just try out moving the 200 hours later to down here and putting ... So 3 dots and it being right there. The game is, yeah, mostly.
Very easy to get sidetracked in this game. And I think that's a discovery we all make along the way.
Yep.
Dad, I have something to tell you. I decided to quit my job as a hero and become a dancer.
A dancer? Well, the party buffs are useful.
No, father. Like this! One of the best parts about this game is that there's so many definitions of endgame. There's your usual solo content or raiding or whatever, but under little rocks here and there, people create songs, dance routines, fashion, interior design, economic domination. Some of the most hardcore players I've met are high-end ultimate raiders, and yet they are mere insects beneath the boots of role players. The penultimate form of a Final Fantasy player, logging on daily to take cute screenshots and dance. And that's like kinda not even a joke. And having done a couple raids, it's not like the raids are bad either. It's actually some of the most fun I've ever had raiding. It's just you have a choice now. The driving force is fun, nothing is mandatory, and everything is encouraged. Because to make a fantasy world feel real, you need your sweaty adventurers and your maid catgirl photography enthusiast. Now I think it's about time I got round to killing those primals. Or... I could do something better. What if I told you that me, the best mage player in the whole world, the betrayer of guilds...
Wait a second, I need to fucking, like... I'm not sure. I'll upload this one for now. We'll use this one until Alex have done the other one. Sorry, chat. I need to upload this. I have no choice. The video has to go live at 4. It's a sponsored video, so I don't make the rules. Version 2 is up. All right, let's check it out. All right, now chat, you need to tell me, right? This one or this one? Which one do you think is better? This one will be A, right? This one will be B. Which one do you think is better? Seems like most people prefer B. All right, we'll do B. I prefer B as well. I think B looks better. Thank you very much, Alex. Really appreciate that. I know that you're sleeping, so you can go back to sleep. And now I just hope that this video does well, bro. Ordinarily, videos that isn't about WoW don't do well on the channel. So the hope is that it does do well. Let's see. Not entirely sure if it will do well or not. One can only hope, I suppose. Anyways, no, don't want to do FF stuff. Hey, I love FF stuff. It's live, Sir Nasher. It's live right now.
Found an even greater foe. This content would make even the most experienced raiders quake with fear. That's right. I decided
To try and buy a house. But there's a few cat.
You cannot buy a house in this fucking game. From everything that I've heard, buying a house in Final Fantasy XIV is technically impossible. Technically impossible.
Catches with buying houses. Firstly, there's a finite number of houses on any server. There's just under 400,000 houses in all of Final Fantasy, which is not a lot when you consider the player count. And slots only become available when someone doesn't log in for 45 days. I'll tell you about the second catch in a moment. It's a big one. Attention everybody, there is a fucking house for sale. I ran to the plot, looked around a little, and I hovered over the purchase button. Was this truly where I wanted to live? Yes. This would do nicely. So I clicked purchase. Oh. So here's the second catch. At some point in a 24-hour period, the house will randomly become available for sale. Meaning, to acquire a house, you have to repeatedly do this and hope that you're the person that purchases the house the moment it becomes available, randomly, in a 24-hour period. I don't have time for this. I give up. Now, that's not the pint I know. Well, I guess there is one thing I could do. I don't know, it's kind of No, what is it? I mean, I could exploit the working class. Meet wife havers. Oh, the things we'd do together. The conquests we'd march. Right after you guys buy a house, for the guild. We had 2 people around the clock clicking a placard, and the rest of us would sit there to make it seem like there was more competition than there was to scare off potential competitors. It was truly a chance for us all to bond, a learning experience. And what I learned in this experience is that my friends are fucking psychopaths. This is Job. She was there for 40 hours over 4 days. Jesus. Oh, how do I know this? Only the fucking Google Doc we created to track the hours camped, the plot opening times, and to see how close we were to committing human rights violations. Now, keep camping. You wouldn't want to go back to Torghast, would you? After about 3 days, though, one of our happy little campers discovered something. Something that would blow this case wide open. Take a look at this chart. Yep, turns out in the first 8 hours, the chances of a plot opening are basically 0. And for the creamy, most efficient strat possible, you want to click in this 4-hour window. Ah, yes. Only 4 short hours of clicking. As luck would have it, on the dawn of the 4th day, during prime time, I sent Jub a very funny meme, and she tabbed out for a moment to look at it.
The house. It sold.
Oh my god, the shame.
Psych, we bought the house. It was us. It was our backup clicker. There's always a backup clicker.
Oh
And
my
now
God,
we had a place
almost
to call
sad.
home. And we relocated immediately because the goblet, say it with me, is for broke ass bitches.